Hi everybody, it's Shadia Wade. Again, I'm sorry my video quality isn't that great, but I don't make any money off these videos. It's really just about getting the message out there to people about people who have bipolar disorder, and I happen to be one of those people. So please forgive me for not having higher quality equipment to make these videos, but anyway. Last time I talked to you about coming off of lithium and how I was having some withdrawal symptoms from that. Really, the symptoms I was experiencing were physical and mental, and I again was in contact with my physician, my psychiatrist, and talking to him about all the symptoms I was having, and he was just like, just drink as much water as you possibly can to help flush it out of your system, because I told him I wanted to go on baby safe medication anyway, and so he was alright with that. He knows I didn't purposely quit taking the lithium. It really was just that I had ordered it and it hadn't been received, and it hadn't gotten here until a week after I had run out. So there's that. I have decided to stop looking for a job, because the more and more interviews that I go to, and the more and more I try and show that I can do a job for people, at least when it comes to sales and stuff, I feel like I am working for free and I'm getting no payoff whatsoever. I'm spending my own money on gas and food and not getting anything in return. So I have decided to quit the job market for now, and just focus on my son and my household and my husband, and just maintaining all of that and keeping that healthy and strong, because whether I have a job or not really isn't an issue. Like, financially, it would be beneficial to have a job, but it's not necessary. Like, we have the means to provide for ourselves without me working. It's just going to be a little tight on finances, that we have to kind of just make sure that we're budgeting ourselves correctly. And that's pretty much it. I do get a little stir crazy when I'm home for long periods of time, so I have to figure out ways to get out and do stuff and move around and entertain myself without spending too much money. Usually that involves like hanging out with friends or going to the park or doing something interactive in that way, or going to like free events, because sometimes they do like theaters in the park and stuff like that, but I don't really know if it's a cost to see the film or if it's just the cost of food. Because if it's the cost of food, then I can just bring food of my own and just sit and enjoy the film with my son and my husband. I am going to be waiting for myself to be balanced out on this new medication, which is Risperidone. which is a C-class medication. I don't know what that means other than it means they haven't collected enough data on it to know what the side effects are of it on pregnancy. But what my psychiatrist has said is basically that if I get pregnant, that I need to wean off my medications and stop them to prevent a potential negative effect. So there's that. And so I'm looking at about September, October, and November as like a time frame to conceive. So if within those 3 months I do conceive, that means that in the summer I will, give birth. And that would be the optimal time to give birth because then I wouldn't be in school. It wouldn't conflict with school at all. And everything would be right on track. But the likelihood of things going according to plan is, it's just all up in the air, and you just never know with those kinds of things. But I do think that it'll work out somehow. I don't want to put too much faith in it, but I don't want to, discount it either, because this next pregnancy is going to be better planned. Like, my son wasn't really planned. We had talked about whether or not we got pregnant, or if that were to ever have happened, what we would do. But it was never in great detail. And so when it happened, I was very afraid that Dustin, my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, would leave, and, I'd be the sole person to care for this child. And, that was back before I converted to Islam and stuff like that. So, my thoughts on pro-life or pro-choice. I am pro-choice because it's not my place to dictate to anybody what they should do with their life or their body. And it is not my job to judge other people and their circumstances. And so I'm really kind of like, personally for me, I'm not pro-choice, I'm pro-life. But for other people, I'm pro-choice. Does that make sense? Or maybe I'm pro-choice and I just choose life over abortion. I don't know. I don't want to struggle with this pregnancy. I want this pregnancy to go smoothly. When I was pregnant with my son, I had a lot of mood swings and stuff like that because of the hormones. And I was very quick to anger because Dustin would do like these really weird things that would just continue to peck at me. And he may not see that he does that, but I'm sure I do it too. He's just more patient with me, but I couldn't take it. So I would have really violent outbursts. And I didn't experience any postpartum really like, I did detach myself from Dustin, but I didn't detach myself from my child. It's very weird. I think I experienced postpartum from my husband more than I did from my son, because like I was nursing him, so there was lots of contact with my son as he was a baby. So like that skin to skin contact that they talk about, that's so important to women that give birth, is very important. Whether you nurse or not, skin to skin contact is really important because it helps with, I don't, like, people are social and physical creatures and they need that kind of contact. And I wasn't getting any kind of contact from Dustin. I felt like he was just really hands off, and that had to do a lot with the fact that when I was pregnant, if he would touch me, I would have to go run to the bathroom and puke. And I don't know why, it was like clockwork. He'd touch me and I'd get physically ill. And so I think that was kind of a hindrance to him. It was a hindrance to me because after the baby was born, I really wanted that kind of contact with him. And we had kind of grown used to being in our own selves instead of being partners. We became very isolated and individualized, and just all around lacked physical contact with one another. It was just very cold, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but like as time progressed and I vocalized my concerns with like how he was treating me or how I felt I was being treated at the time, like things gradually got better. So I'm hoping that with this next pregnancy, things will be a lot easier. I won't get physically ill just because he touches me. That I won't end up in the hospital because when I was pregnant with Lonzo, he fell asleep on the vena cava, which is a very major artery that transfers oxygen throughout your body. And I stopped breathing and lost consciousness and basically was asphyxiated, I guess, is the best way to put it. But I wasn't dead. My breathing was just very, very shallow, and I don't know what happened. They just told me what was going on, and like Dustin was very concerned, and his mom was very concerned, and this happened around Thanksgiving of 2007, and I had no idea what had gone on. I woke up in the hospital and I was being asked a million questions about like how far along I was and what was my due date and things like that. And like I got told that I was wrong about like my like how far along I was, and that was really weird because like I think I should know like I'm the pregnant one. But whatever. um But we all ended up okay. We're all here. But it was a scare, and it was terrifying for Dustin, and it was very traumatic for him and his family to have me be like that, and I hope that that doesn't happen again, because that probably would not be good if it happened again, because I don't know necessarily that I'd be here. I hope that, this time frame I actually do conceive, because it would just be appropriate planning. Otherwise, I'd have to wait an entire year and try again. And I just don't know if I could do that. I've waited this long. My son is 6 years old, and I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to put it off any longer than I already have, for him to have a sibling and to have the second child that I want, and to expand upon my family. But I don't know. We'll see. Dustin's on board for having another child. Whether or not it's sometime in the fall of this year, still hasn't really been said. We did pay off one of our major credit cards. We're still working on the second, and then there's just my stuff, which I constantly pay on. So I'm not really too worried. So, life is kind of humdrum until I figure out this medication and settle into it, because I do get lonely, and I do isolate and turn inward and think about things that I shouldn't be, like intrusive thoughts. And it's really hard. Like, I try so hard to be a positive and uplifting person, but it's hard when your mind wants something to be a certain way and your heart wants it to be another. And like your heart, when I say your heart, I mean like your spirit, like the driving force in you. Like yesterday I was super motivated and was tired, and today I'm tired and just really, down on myself and not feeling very motivated to do anything. But I have a lot of things to do. So I got a couple hours before I'm going to get started on that. So hopefully my mood will change. If not, I'll do it later today. I always get around to things, but it would just be easier if, like, in the next hour or two, I could get motivated and get off my butt and get started with my day. So I hope all of you are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay tuned.